Hey, I'm James from Dog Funk. I'm going to show you a few basic tuning tips right now to take care of your deck yourself so you can save a little cash on the side. First thing I'm going to show you is some base repair stuff, some really simple things that you can do in your basement. So, a couple things that you're going to need. You're going to need a little propane torch so that you can melt your Ptex. You're going to need the Ptex itself. Ptex comes in clear sticks and black sticks. The black is known to bond a little bit better, so if you don't mind a big black streak across your board, this is going to bond better, but the clear definitely works. One important thing, you're using a torch, so make sure that you know what you're doing, or you have somebody around you that knows what you're doing, they're doing, because it can really hurt yourself. And Ptex, it burns, and if you drip it on your hands, it will scar, and you can't just wipe it away. It burns into your hand, and I've got scars on my hands from my days as a tech that are still there, so be careful with Ptex. So you want to get your torch going. Important thing, you don't need the torch up really high. Turn it till it's really low, just a light blue flame. You don't really need much coming out of it at all to warm the Ptex up. What you want to do is you just want to kind of evenly rotate your Ptex and get all of it melting, kind of evenly. Take a minute. But one of the reasons you want to keep it moving too is if you just hold it in one spot, it's just going to burn. And that's what most likely happened with this repair before, is that the person, let the Ptex go a little too long. So what we want to do is we want to get it to a point where it's going to be a fine drip, just like that. And now you're just going to evenly let it fill in all the way down. And don't be worried about getting it on parts of your base that don't need it. You'll be able to scrape that right off without any problem whatsoever. Okay, when you're done with it, blow it out and kind of keep it rotating that way. I like to just hold it up so it doesn't keep dripping all over the place. Important thing with the Ptex, you need to let Ptex sit for about 20 minutes before you scrape it off. If you touch it before then, you're just going to pull it right out of the groove. It doesn't give it time to bond. So give it 20 minutes and then you can scrape it off. Alright, so the Ptex is completely dried now. It's been 20 minutes. You can feel it. It's nice and firm. It's and hard, not going to burn your hand. So what I'm going to start with, I have a multi-file here. This is a file that has 4 different grades to it. I like that just because in certain instances you need kind of a more a deeper file. Sometimes you need that fine one to really do this, and you don't want to get the rest of your base messed up. So I'm going to start with a heavier file, just ever so slightly. Take it right over the Ptex. And like I said, be careful not to you don't want to wreck the rest of your base in this process. Alright, when you get it down to a decent point where it's not overly thick, a little trick I like to do and help save the base is I just take a standard little razor blade. And what I like to do is I just like to take it just like this. Literally just run it back and forth. Again, if you keep it nice and straight and maybe a 45-degree angle at most, you're not going to dig into the base. Just run your hand right over it, and when it's flush and flat with the rest of the base and you can't feel any lumps, any bumps, anything, you know you're done. So now you got a nice smooth spot. Still doesn't look overly pretty from the bad Ptex job before, but it's going to absorb wax, it's going to run smooth, and you're not going to get any water in the core. So you're ready to go, move on to your edges.